No hate to Millville, but I'm gonna try to make my own Pop-Tarts today. We'll see how it goes. Start by mixing 280 grams of all-purpose flour, 3 grams of salt, and 50 grams of sugar. Grate in 227 grams of cold butter, like straight from the fridge cold butter, and loosely combine. Add 1 teaspoon of vinegar. I'm not really sure why, but the recipes said to, so I did. And 285 grams of discard. Knead this together until a dough forms. Then you're going to wrap and put in your fridge for several hours, or overnight if you're like me and time just is not on your side like ever. But it's fine. I think it only just lets the dough ferment longer, so no big deal. It's okay. As long as it's nice and cold when you use it, it should be fine. That'll keep the butter from oozing out of the dough when it bakes. Once it's had a nice long rest, and you have to because obviously, you're going to flour your work surface and then roll out your dough. I decided to roll out some of it while I still had the plastic wrap on it just in case it was sticky, but it really wasn't, so that was not necessary. And then make your inside mixture. For that, I put 213 grams of brown sugar. It said 16 grams of cinnamon, but you know me, I don't measure those sorts of things. And 3/4 cup of melted butter. Next time, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup, and it's just going to be softened butter because I think it'll turn out better. But either way, this is what we did for now. I cut it into an equal number of rectangles. Depending on what size you want, is how many you'll get. Just make sure it's even numbers, and place half of them on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then it is time to assemble. Put your mixture on top of your dough, and it was super duper oozy. So yeah, that's why I said softened butter, not melted butter. I think it'll just turn out better. We'll see. But either way, then you'll make an egg wash, which is 15 grams of water and 1 egg. And then you just put that on the edges, and then you'll put your tops on and crimp down with a fork. Crimp down really hard. I did not know that at first, but now I do, because it'll ooze out if you don't. Don't be gentle. You gotta be rough with it this time. Once everything is crimped down, you brush with your egg wash, and you'll put them into the oven for 15 minutes. Then rotate the tray and bake for another 15 minutes. I'll be icing in part 2, but for that, it's going to be 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla, a splash of milk, and some cinnamon. That will go on once they are cool and we are ready for a taste test. Come back and join me. Come back for frosting and tasting.